All right, we got a carburetor on the table today that we're looking at. This came off a 20 horse Mercury model 1F20412HK. I had a no start issue on this boat after putting new plugs in, new wreck fuel. We got rid of all the old fuel, put a new barb on the gas line. The gas line doesn't look great. I'd probably recommend to the customer to replace that, but I'm getting gas through it. I got gas past the fuel pump, and then I looked at the carburetor and we got some issues with it. It looks like just failing gaskets, several of them. The main one is, this is the carburetor taken apart a little bit. I didn't do the taking apart part on the video, but if you want to see when you put it back, you'll be able to figure out how to take yours apart on this motor. It's difficult because you got to take the whole manifold off that's connected to the carburetor and a few other things. And you'll see that when we put it back together. But this is what I found, some evidence on the outside of the carburetor here of just gas leaking through. This boat sat for a year with gas in it, and it may have had some issues bogging down before that too, and this could be the culprit. This is a plunger here. These gaskets, these little ones, are completely flat, and you can see some evidence along the side here of just gas getting through, which means air can get through in that plunger as well. And this is the top side of the plunger. You can see that something has been leaking out of it. If you look at this, this is the gasket here it's completely flat, and if you look at this stuff here, it looked like something's slipping through because that gasket is not sealing anymore. Over here as well. And then this is the other side that gasket sits, and you can just kind of see that there's just some gunk that's coming out. And then if you look at the outside, you can just kind of tell that it's been getting gas coming out, probably air leaking in, which is not good. So we're going to replace this gasket here. Where are we? These two on the top, and we're going to replace the plunger. And we're going to put a new float bowl in it. I think this old one would have been fine. It's a little bit weathered, but they're plastic. And then I was trying to get the idle jet out, and I jammed a flathead screwdriver into there. So we're going to be replacing the float bowl to a new float bowl as well. All right, so first step we're going to do is see if I can show you getting the old gaskets off here. Okay. So this is our, let's actually start on the top side here. This plunger comes out, you have to, there's a piece here that fits into the top of it. It's this little plastic piece. You have to pop that off the top here in order to take that plunger out, which I've already done. Just put that in the bowl so I don't lose it, and then you can pop the plunger out. That's how you disassemble. This is what I'm talking about when I say it was failing. You can see all that stuff around the side. So we've got a new plunger, which is this here. It's the same piece. Part 8538300005. That's the plunger. It's Quicksilver, so there we are. That's our new plunger that will go in there like that. I'm going to clean out some of the gunk on the bottom there with Carb Clean first, but that's our new plunger. Next we're going to get these two O-rings that were next to the plunger out of there. They're completely flat, so we'll see how difficult they are to get out. I might have to use a little long needle. Sometimes I use these for gaskets. Okay, so we've got those two out. This one as well we're going to replace. Okay. This may not come out in one piece, but you can kind of see here how bad this was right in here, and right especially on this corner here. Okay.
And it actually came out in one piece, but that was what we needed to replace there, one of them. Okay, I don't know if there's... I am just gonna get some Carb Clean. I use the Carb Clean. I use this gum out jet spray carbon choke cleaner. I'll try and I always try and link everything I use in the description. If you're looking for anything I'm using on the video, just look at the description and I'll put them all on the end for any type of products I'm using to fix these. These are, I don't always use gloves, but I've been getting some chapped hands with all this Carb Clean and everything, so I just use these nitrile Black Mamba. Those are the ones I like. Okay, so this old gasket material out of here, and then just want to spray this once, gave it a once over before, but I want to spray these holes in the gaskets here. I always like to go through these holes. Coming out, yep, that's coming out that hole, that's good. We'll just here. That's the gas line coming in there. Just want to get, this is like a little screen. Just want to make sure we're not clogged down that gas line. Just want to clean out this for the new gasket to sit. Get all that gunk out of there. This is just the top part of the plunger. I'm going to spray it. Get around the top of this plunger area here. It looks like there's some gunk just trapped in there. And here's the main jet here. Spray through there. Let's see, those are screw holes. Those are, this one. I like to take this other side and just go through these little holes here. Looks like that's not turning too freely there. Something's gummed up here. See if we can get that to turn a little better. That's what closes that door there. Looks like there's some muck, filth in there. Looks a little better. Okay. So we've got a lot of that cleaned out. This gasket here on the other side looked fine. So I'm going to, I didn't replace that gasket, I'm just pulled the cover off and I'm just going to, and I just cleaned out the area. Now I just got some air, compressed air. I'm gonna clean out the Carb Clean and all this stuff. This is the jet that I've cleaned out already. Let's spray some more Carb Cleaner through it. Our final O-ring, this is the part that connects to this, and then you put it in. Boom, but there's a little O-ring on there too that you can tell there's evidence of then getting past that. So that is our final O-ring that we're going to be replacing. I don't even know how I'm going to get this one off, but I need my needle. This one might have to break it to get it off. There we are, look at that. Oh, okay, there it is. You can see that. Just not looking good there. Okay. And that is on that piece there. Okay. This is a piece of guitar wire I'm using to kind of clean out these holes in this carburetor jet. Might be too big for some of them. I'll spray through it again. One thing I'm not doing on camera because I'll spray all over, but I'm holding the carb cleaner on this end, plugging this end so it'll come out the sides, free any crud that was in those blockages. I think that's probably as good as we're going to be able to get it without an ultrasonic cleaner, which we don't have. And then I'm just going to air this out. Jet. Now, what we're going to start to do is replace gaskets. I'll start by getting this piece on here first, which was fine. Okay. Here is our plug for our main jet here. Okay, we got that unplugged as much as possible. Okay. Now we need our small O-ring. So the O-ring that we're going to use for this piece here, which is that plug for the jet, is 25-825057004. That is the O-ring for the model that we talked about in the beginning. This one is going to be tough. It's going to have to go around and down. There we go. It's in there. Brand new gasket there. Okay. Now, where's our jet? The jet here. This goes down this part first. Just make sure that seat's all the way down. Yeah, it goes down a little further. Okay, and then this piece with our new O-ring on top there. Let's get a flat head. And it's seating better, more sealed with that new O-ring right there. Just want to be careful with those brass pieces. Okay, that's in. Okay, now let's look over here at our plunger side. This is our new plunger. So what we do is we put the plunger down. That should want to come up there. And then this little plastic piece that we talked about earlier, this thing sits right on top I'll show you that, just trying not to lose it. It's so small. So this thing sits right on top of here and it just kind of snaps in. I guess it didn't snap in, but it's what holds this plunger in. And then it just kind of plunges like that. Okay. Okay. That is seated there now. The O-ring that is, there's two of them for these two spots. These two O-rings right here. And they're all the same number, 25-898103224. So you get two of them, and it'll say, you know, when you order them that you need two for this carburetor, two of these exact same size. Here. And once this plate is placed on top of that, see how that's not flat any longer. It's kind of it will press that O-ring in and it'll create a better seal in both of these here. Okay, so we make sure this piece is in here. This is here, this is here. I don't want to lose this stuff when I flip it over, but this piece is on. See that? Okay. And then before we put this piece back, it gets a little spring. Spring was good, so we didn't replace that. But that just goes kind of right on top here. And you just want to be careful that when you put this plate on, that everything kind of stays where it's supposed to, seals up good, and the spring goes right there. Okay, now there's a little thing here that the spring goes into. Little piece here. Okay. I believe that is where we want to be there. And you can see that the spring is working. It's bouncing that back. That's what it's supposed to do. Let's see if we can find some of our screws here. Make sure those are tight, but not stupid tight, because we want our gasket plunger and our other gaskets to seal good. So we want to make it tight. Okay. Last gasket is the one right here that we replace into this piece, and that's going to be our, okay. And that gasket for here on the side next to the plunger there, we can tell the spring is good, is 27-802691001. All right. Okay, fresh gasket there. And let's get this screwed back on here. A little bit wider one just to finish her off here. And as tight as it can be. Okay, next step is our float bowl. So this is the old float bowl. I think it was okay. It's a little discolored from the gas, but I popped a flathead through it trying to get one of the screws out. So we're going to be replacing that. Save your pin. I didn't order that. And your pin here. See that? Okay. So, and float bowl 16253 space 2. I don't know if that's how you say it, but there we are. Okay, you can see there. This one probably was white when it started. Okay, so we just put this through here like the old one. And then we take our pin. This Phillips has to be loosened. This is the only carburetor I've seen that has one of these. You loosen that, and you get the pin in there, and then you tighten it back down on it. That's how that one works. Okay, so we've got our new float bowl. And this will sit right here. Okay, and the way you do this one, different from some of them too, some other carburetors, is you actually put the pin in first instead of after you get the thing through. And then this sits here, and you got your pin there, and then you just tighten that screw and it locks that pin into place. So a little bit different from a lot of carburetors, but that's just the way this one works. Okay, let's see how she's going up and down. Nice. That's what we want to see there. Okay. Now, last gasket is obviously going to be the one that was real bad along the edges here. This gasket 27-8026999005. See how this is going to fit here. Looks like just like that. Okay. So this should create a seal here into the actual housing where you didn't have one before. You could see where everything was slipping through. Okay, so this gasket will, the idea is this gasket will give us a nice seal. Just got to be careful putting it on. I'm going to make sure it's around all the parts it needs to be around. It doesn't get caught so as to get some kind of an air leak. You want to just make it go into those grooves so you don't get any type of an air leak. And let's see here. Which way are we going? So I think... Okay, see that? So we're sealing now. See all that stuff around the side? And we're hopefully sealing out better. I got it held real tight. And I've got my 4 screws here that we need for this. Okay. There we are. There's our carburetor, new gaskets, plunger here. So that part hits that plunger there, sprays gas into there. Looks like it's working as it should. Okay. Now, as I said, the carburetor has to hook up to the manifold here, and let's see, this piece here. So we'll do this part next where we combine these 3 pieces, have to hook together, and then they go on the motor. And if you re-engineer that backwards, you'll figure out how to get this off. I didn't film that part like I was saying before, but we're going to show you that next, hooking these 3 parts together. Okay, so we've got the manifold, carburetor, airbox piece, and what we're going to do with all of this is we're going to hook it all together, and they all see these long screws that are on the airbox piece here. They go through the entire carburetor and then back into the manifold there. So take the carburetor, see the 2 holes. That's also how you take it apart to get to the actual carburetor. It's kind of a pain on this one to get to the carburetor. It's one of the more pain in the butt ones. Okay. Okay, now we've got the screws going through. Okay, see the best way to do this. See what the best way to do this is. I don't know. I'm going to just try and do it by hand at first to get it started, and then we'll get a wrench on it. Okay. And we're going to need a wrench on this. see what we're looking at here. Oh, looks like first try, 10 millimeter, nice. Okay, and then once you get these two bolts tightened down correctly by the air box, you'll have these two screws. This will be in the right spot where you can screw in these two here. These are going to be these smaller ones, Phillips. Okay, there we are. There's our completed assembly there. Manifold, carburetor in the middle, air box on the right. This will just, and we'll show you that next, how to pop this into the motor. It's just a series of screws on the side of the manifold mainly. Okay, we're at the part where we're going to put our piece back on the motor. But the first thing is that this little hook linkage here hooks here, and you just put it into the little hole. Whoops, trying to hold this and do it with one hand. Okay, so that goes in the little hole, and then this clamps down here, if I can get it, and then it'll snap in, and that will move this piece here. See that? That moves our door up and down. That's going to the air box here. Okay, now we have our manifold piece and our, just get a little closer here. We got our 5 bolts here. They're all the same. 10 millimeter. They got what is it? The number 7 on them. Okay. But I think that what I'll do first is just start hooking up the gas lines. Okay, I had a little trouble getting this part back in here, and really it was just because I had the hose hooked up first. I thought it'd be better, so I took the gas line hose off, this hose, which is gonna go up the back here. But I guess the best way to do it is to not put the hoses on first, just get this piece in here first. And I just want to get it clamped in at least with one screw so we can get it going here, and then we'll hook up the rest of the hoses. Of course, that little one in the back I kept because it's that one's going to be difficult to get in without this. Okay, got that one down, and this one to the air box. There we go. There we go. Okay. Okay, now let's just put one of these screws in the top here. Stupid tight. Okay. Now we've got the manifold hooked in on one of those. Now I want to do the gas line before I can't see it anymore. So that's going to go in here. And let me just see if I can get some light in there to see if it's all the way on that thing. Well, it looks pretty good. Let's get our clamp in there. Okay. But this one that has this little guard for the gas line, it's the only one that's the screw is this, the bolt is the same, but it goes in this one right here, and then it just, this piece just holds the gas line there. So other than that, they're all the same that go into the other ones. Okay, so we've got all our 5 bolts in. The manifold is in good. Next, we don't want to forget about this linkage here. This one just goes in this hole here, and then this comes around and clamps down. So that is for that plunger piece where we placed everything down in here. And then also next are these 2 screws here. The one on the right side is for this. It's really just a thing for the gas line. It comes around. It's on the gas line here. So this, oh, almost dropped it. This piece here just kind of holds this gas line in place here. Okay, now, lastly, we have our little connection here, the blue wire. It's just a plug-in, so you just take that and just plug it in. Okay, that kind of snapped into place, so I know it's in good. Gonna replace our oil dipstick here. Okay, everything is hooked in, looks good. Ooh, one thing I forgot. This is our ground here. This other thing on the left, this is a ground coming off the wire box there. So let's just get that screw out of there. Ground in, and we'll put that back in. Okay, now that is everything. Every line is hooked up here. The one into the back here. This one on the top here. And into our air box. Okay, everything is hooked up. We're just gonna get the battery hooked up and some gas pumped into there, and well, hopefully it'll fire. She's not peeing though, that's a problem. Okay, I got her to turn on, but she wasn't peeing out of the telltale, so I shut it down because we're not getting any cooling. But it looks like there's some gunk in there. All right, so it's the moment of truth. We got the carburetor on the motor, it's cleaned out, and we got her on the water now. We're gonna see if she fires up here. Oh. Look at that. She's going. We got a nice stream coming out of the telltale. And that was it. Carburetor gaskets.